welcome everyone. I'm so happy to have you here, and I am thrilled to have Maxine with us today. I've gotten to know Maxine over the past few years, I guess, couple of years. It always seems longer than it actually is. I think it's been a couple of years, but it feels like longer in a really, really positive way. I'm just so incredibly inspired by what you do, and I'm really excited for everyone to, if you don't already know Maxine, to get to know her as well. Just like one of the most approachable and full of energy people I know. And I get energy just from watching your Instagram stories, which again, like if you're not already following Maxine, please do. Her stories are really, really interesting. Just as like a side note, it's a really interesting way to start my day. So I'm really excited to have you here, Maxine. I know there's so many soapbox topics that you have, and you have so much to talk about, which I love and I'm excited for. So thank you everyone for being here. And Paul will probably remind me if I don't say this, but something that we say at Volition is you never know what can come from a conversation. And we feel like these founder chats that we've launched, as well as some of our other content, kind of exemplifies that, and really excited to be able to do that here today. So this is Maxine, the founder and CEO of Pick My Brain. And so Pick My Brain, in a sentence, is an online tool that helps you find new ways to use your unique talents to generate income. But what I'm going to do is flip that to Maxine so she can dive into a little bit more about what she means by that. Over to you.
Like how a new one, because Melanie has been for years. And I love that this is happening because we did click immediately because of our energy. And I want to talk about energy because later we're going to talk about pricing our time and energy, and what you can get from energy, and how conversations can turn into compounding benefits and lead to future business and lifetime value of insurmountable gain. And I love that about Volition, that it does always start with a conversation. You guys are just as open. Your entire business is open to helping first, which is something we're also going to talk about, because you got to show value first. You just got to be warm and open, and the compounding benefits of that is, and it's just the right thing. It just makes sense. So founder and CEO of Pick My Brain. Pick My Brain is at its core a tool that inspires you and makes it easy for you to think about new ways to creatively monetize your time, knowledge, experience, energy, creativity, wisdom, etc. But more than that, it is like also a new ethos, a way of thinking. It is, the economy is going through a pretty big shift right now. We get to all do it together. And what I think we need to start considering is this untapped, abundant source of knowledge and energy that we all hold within us. How do we add that to the system? How do we fairly compensate something like that? Because that can feel weird and icky, which we're going to talk about. How do we support each other in our endeavors to learn more about what we know a lot about? We got to see it as so much more. So that's what Pick My Brain is, both as a tool and this mindset of thinking, this new economic way to think about yourself as a collection of offers. Offer.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. And I love it because you've been talking about this. When did you found Pick My Brain? When was it founded?
Officially, like birthed as an idea, or birthed as like a corporation?
Both. How did that look?
That's good. Pick My Brain was conceived in a little town called Winlaw 4 years ago during the summer. And I had just finished. I left my corporate gig because I saw a new economy coming too. I saw Airbnb, monetize a shared asset in a very effective way that then created this like economic, global, and social impact overnight. And I was working at a think tank at the time and working on aggregate policy. I was trying to think about how the nations can get together and not cross our planetary boundaries.
Right.
And so I was looking at big data sets and trying to be like, hey, countries, there's some mathematical lines in the sand that we can't cross. So we got to adhere to them.
Yeah.
And I was just I worked in that for 4 years. I wasn't seeing, government switches over a lot. But then I watched this company, these 3 designer kids create a peer-to-peer marketplace. And so I'm a trained economist by my background. And peer-to-peer marketplaces for us are just like, whoa, because there's so little dead weight loss, and there's so much value transfer, and there's not a lot lost. So it's a really effective way to transfer information. Cool. And I was like, this is the new way. So I quit my job. I drove across Canada. I was in Winlaw with my co-founder. And I was like, okay, so like, is it like, okay, so I can buy a house to stay in anywhere in the world. Like, what about like, could I have a conversation with anyone? I just started like thinking, I was like, why couldn't I buy someone's knowledge as easily as I can get a home online? And like, I was watching my mom retire at the time, and you know, a woman that has 20 plus years experience running businesses and coaching women and investing in courses and figuring out how to retire beautifully.
What just happened? No, I didn't flip. It just
okay. Oh, maybe it's when you're gap. Oh, now it's flipped and you're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, we're having some fun here.
That's okay. It's like the digital funny things when you hang in. But yeah, anyway, she had all this knowledge and she had no way to plug it back into the system. Right. No easy way to be like, hey, I would love to share some of the stuff I've learned over the course of my life, learning how to build a really beautiful life, and went through a lot of mistakes and loaned money and paid money and fired and hired and motivated and expanded and gave shares in her company in a unique way and had office parties, like all those things. Like in the industry, they call them soft skills personally, but it's like all
power
those
skills,
underlying skills that you get from just going through something significant.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I remember that night looking up online, I'd be like, how many people are retiring? And how much knowledge is just not being plugged back into the system, all because she had no easy way to do it, right? No way she's going to set a website up and market herself again and create another business. That's not what she's interested in doing. She's interested in sharing her knowledge and being fairly compensated for it, just so she can like be passed down. This is what we've done for histories. I'm just adding an online tool that's like, let the world know that you are open to help. Start there. Everyone can do that.
I remember like the first time I heard it, I absolutely loved it. And this was well before, as you're saying, you're seeing this economy coming, but I think that over the last 4 years, we've seen it show up more and more. People just in the last year started talking more about gig economy. And then of course, with the situation being as it is today, with so much remote work, and there's more possibilities and people looking for more opportunities. So I'd be really curious to hear, shift to COVID-ish context, the context of today, but in like the context of the last few months. I'd be curious because I know you work with like thousands of brains essentially, and you have these incredible workshops with like deep dives to understand what people are going through and what they're wanting to do and how they want to package what they're doing. And you've been doing this throughout the last 3 to 4 months, as well as before that as well. But I'd be really curious about if you've seen, or what you've seen in terms of any shifts in people's mindset. So you're talking about how Pick My Brain is partially this mindset element. Has there been any shifts in mindset that you've seen in the last few months in particular? I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I love that question. For sure. So I'll explain what I'm feeling and seeing, watching the knowledge economy be born and watching a bunch of people find themselves in different positions and readjusting what they think of how, like, you know, no time like the present. What do you actually want to be spending your time on?
Yeah, exactly.
Too. So we're going inwards. We're like, oh, I got to stay home. Some people don't even want to go back to the office. 47% of people don't want to go back to the office. Shopify just announced like yesterday that 5,000 of its employees will be working from home permanently. Yeah. You know, Toby said office, what did he say? Centralization is over. Something about, he coined it. Office centricity is over. Right?
Office centricity is over. Yeah.
And I find, and people have downtime and they've got some time to think and readjust. And so what I've heard, the language is, hey, I've got some downtime. I should invest in rebranding myself and going through that exercise, because you got to revisit that as a professional. Yeah. It's time now to think about looking at myself and what I've learned in the last world and who's me in the new world. Yeah. And I find workshops are actually quite fun and easy to sell. I only DM, like I haven't even pushed them out. I just I'm running a workshop. Who wants to get together and think about ways to package and price and walk away with a new offer that you can test? Yeah. Simple, you know? Yeah. People are very receptive to it right now because it's not a huge financial outlay. Right. It gets you thinking. It definitely can unlock something that's compounding.
Yeah. Yeah.
And makes you, holds you accountable to asking those questions that you need to do in like kind of group or with someone else, because otherwise you like can't see yourself. Like we all got to see each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's definitely happening, and it's really exciting to me. And like creativity, I feel like is like, I don't know about your Instagram feed, but creativity is on the rise. People are creating again, mending clothes. You know, there is this opening to being like, hey, all right, like I don't need to go and fly around the world all the time. I can stay home and have just as much value.
Yeah.
You know, there's gonna be things that we're gonna miss. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it, but I feel generally like, all right, gonna go through some pain, but we're gonna have a new world. We're not gonna work in the office anymore. What does that look like? You can't cry. Go get it. We're gonna, you know, it's sad. It's a new shift, but that's
do cry when you need to cry. Yes.
And cry. No, and let's all cry together. Let's mourn this. It's a breakup. It's a huge breakup. It's a massive breakup. And it's going to hurt for a while, but like, we're going to have to do the inner work that all the, you know, there's a bunch of people doing relationship work. When you go through a breakup, it's the same. Relationships work, personal business. It's all the same.
Yeah. Yeah. And then but then that creates that space. Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like it's creating like
talk about it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And what I love about what you do is creating, just kind of helping people unlock that creativity of what they actually know and how they can package that for the world. I think it's really unique. And I think like I've learned a lot from you, like talking about what you're talking about right now, that what people are looking for right now, or those workshops are also looking for kind of like more niche content and these kinds of things, I think are really interesting insights. I saw a question come in that relates to what you were just talking about. So you're talking about how like right now is this time to be creative and be looking towards like, what does my evolution look like? I have this space to think about this right now. And so I may not have the time, but we have the forced space. As entrepreneurs, a lot of us don't have a lot of extra time right now, but there's still something happening. There is that shift. So I saw that Nicola asked, and thanks for the question, Nicola, about you and like what you're going through right now, and what is your, like, if you had a crystal ball, what does that look like for your vision for Pick My Brain for the next, you know, if you can't look further than 3 months, the next 3 months, otherwise, what would you love to achieve?
I want to unlock new economic and social opportunities for millions of people using this tool. My goal is global, and I want to kind of be this like the passion economy tool of choice that gets people kickstarted. This tool, you know, it's like it's a beta still, right? I'm still a bootstrap startup founder that's just like I'm taking around right now, but this tool has the opportunity to unlock additional. So in economics, we always talk about additionality. It's actually creating value in the system. There are so many platforms that actually don't create that much value. They just transact. They just move. Literally, Pick My Brain is creating an offer that did not exist from something inside of you. Yeah. That doesn't need a supply chain. That doesn't need product. That doesn't need shipping. And in unlocking those offers in people, I imagine building a global marketplace as big as Amazon, very different principles and values than Amazon, but where you can shop knowledge, you can shop conversations, you can shop a one-on-one session, you can shop programs, workshops, lunch and learns from independents who are openly selling the knowledge that they are desperately wanting to invest more time and energy into learning. And this new knowledge commerce becoming the new, like, right, we had e-commerce. I think knowledge commerce is next. We had gig worker. I think knowledge worker is next. Like that. And it's got to be on our own terms, because our work situation, it's got to be really flexible. You know, people say they love Uber so much, not because of the crappy conditions that the company instills on the workers, but because they get to pick up and do it whenever they want. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, just like, why is that such a, here, have it. Like, please try. Yeah. Do more of that. That makes sense. And economically, it makes sense. Yeah. Financially, it makes sense. Socially, it makes sense. And I always tell people, I'm like, if you just put up a profile, right, build a Pick My Brain profile and just signal to the world that you're open to doing stuff, your chances of doing that thing that set you on fire are 100% higher, because it just exists. So I'm just like, create it, put it out there, and you'd be surprised at what comes in. And that's been my greatest life hack. My Pick My Brain profile has attracted Just like some of them, like everything in my life.
I remember you were telling me, how many discovery calls have you done?
Yeah.
Just pick my brain calls.
I think 250, but that's not even, but yeah, and I've just met someone who's done 2,000. I'm recruiting them right now. 2,000 conversations, which means like they have wealth of knowledge. And in that conversation, just like this, we have some templates, we have intention. Yeah. We're meeting, we're going to discover some things. It's live. It's never going to be the same twice. Why can't I buy this? Yeah. You know, why can't I buy a conversation from anyone? It's energy, it's knowledge, it's connection, and
something that we often talk about, and you already touched on, so I want to go back to it. You touched on the beginning, talking about pricing time and being fairly compensated, these kinds of things, and you're just talking about the new economy, and all these millions of people are wanting to find ways to package their time and create new kind of income streams in their life and new ways of giving back. So I know there's a lot of blockages for people when it comes to pricing their time. And I would be curious to hear what are kind of the most common blocks that you see, and also what is a tip that you would have to take that first step to unlock that?
Such a good question. So I'm going to preface it by saying that we are pricing a value-based product. It's very, very different than pricing a physical product. So there's lots of learnings that come with it. Again, it's something like I did in my previous job as an economist, was monetize the unquantifiable.
Right.
Nature.
Like
right.
That.
Nature has a value, but very difficult to monetize. You'll never, and it feels kind of, sometimes people fight it because it's like, you can't monetize nature. And I'm like, yes, but if you don't, then the rainforest has as much value as degraded land.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And business will treat it such because it's a number game.
Yeah.
So we do have to find value. So I'm just going to preface it by saying this is a learning experiment. We're all going to learn how much time and energy and conversations is a nice price. Because I've seen this happen as well, we as Pick My Brain want to help tell you, like, let's start off with a price floor actually, and give you an idea. Like, all conversations on Pick My Brain, $50. If you want to sign up and offer a conversation, like a 1 hour, we're going to start at $49.
Yeah.
If you want to do something a bit longer, it's $99. If you want to do a workshop, it's $197 or $249. If you want to be available for monthly support, minimum $500 a month. You know, we're going to find those rates that allow you to show up and give energy to this. And then collectively help us all be like, yeah, that's about great, some consistency. Because we kind of, when we first started, let everyone price, we're figuring it out too. And there'll always be custom cases. Yeah. But if we're like, we suggest that, you know, on Pick My Brain, a conversation is $50. You know, if you want to have a deep dive with someone and take off their train of thinking on something that they're putting their time and effort into, $50 minimum for 30 minutes. Yeah. You know, we'll start there. And hey, do you want to sign up and offer conversations for $50? And now we
just try it out. Yeah.
Just try it out. That's fair.
Yeah.
So we're coming in as a company now that we've onboarded hundreds of people and started to see what that rate is that allows them to bring themselves. But also, if I'm thinking about it globally, right? I want this to be a global tool, and there's this global marketplace. It's so much easier to shop if everyone's conversation is $50. And it's not like gig work. It doesn't matter where you live. A conversation is worth a conversation is worth a conversation. Yeah. Which I love. That's so empowering. Later, yes, there's like knowledge that can be stacked, and some people have, you know, they're super brains. So they're like super valuable. But a conversation with someone is with a human, it's a human to human experience. And I think I can take a price floor and set it. And I don't want my marketplace, most marketplaces fall prey to the price being driven down. Yeah. And I don't want that to happen, because there is nothing more valuable, like nature, than our time and energy and thought and consciousness and like real, you know, that's like high value stuff. So
I hope everyone's listening. Everyone listen to this. It's a hard lesson to learn. And I wanted to, again, jump in. I know we only have kind of a third of our time left here, a little or less than that, actually. There's always so much to talk about. So I wanted to, again, jump in and say hello to everyone who is joining us live and also later. Thank you so much for joining us. And because we're coming up to our last few questions. If you have a question or comment or just want to say hi, please do get in the chat and do so. Even if you're watching this later, check in, say something, and I will route it back to Maxine and get an answer for you. So hello again. Just wanted to acknowledge everyone who's been joining us. So thank you again. And my phone needs to be.
Trying to start our talk from now. Oh.
No, my phone is dying, so I just need to. I'm having so many technical issues.
Okay, you're
okay.
Next
Okay, we're back.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. No, I was going to transition. So it was all this incredible knowledge, and I think we could talk about that for like an hour. And wanted to take the last little bit here to transition to. I know I'd be curious, kind of quickly, if you feel. Our current situation as we are, has that impacted it, Pick My Brain, in any way, shape, or form, or has it been kind of business as usual for you? Gone up.
Fast.
So you're one of those. You're one of those.
We're perfect. Yeah, I'm like, oh, like, you know, wow, this is gonna be. The Zoom got, you know, Zoom is now $48.8 billion because we all just transition really quick. We're all gonna have to play with new ways of making money.
I love it.
And I've got a tool that helps you do that.
It's really, and it's so good to hear these success stories or these good news stories, you know, and that's something that we sent out a survey recently to our pitch alumni, and we got back how people were being affected. And there was, you know, 60% have been negatively or greatly negatively impacted. And then going down from there, and it was kind of like 5% that's been positively impacted. But even within all those people who were negatively or I don't want to say, some were negatively impacted and some were just, it was a shift and it was difficult and it was really challenging. But still within that, 70% had kind of wins that they were able to share, which was incredible. So there are small wins even in these really difficult times. So I know there's like these big wins for you during these times, which has been amazing. And I would love to know, I recently heard someone ask this question, I really liked it, so I want to test it out today, which is, if you were to write a letter today to an aspiring entrepreneur to help prepare them for a crisis like this, what would you say to them?
That's a good question. Like, I find this skill set that the people that are transitioning really well through this immediate crisis or experience are the ones that are flexible in their mind and their thinking, are creative, and not scared to try new things.
Yeah.
And are quick, like, look at Volition, you guys, you turned a corner so sharp and fast and well, and immediately shifted all your pitch nights online and they went global. Yeah. And then you're interviewing all your assets, which are the entrepreneurs that you serve. And that is what is required to that's flexible thinking, and that's creativity, and that's still staying true to your mission, which are conversations. You never know what you can come from a conversation.
Yeah.
And we're still here to serve entrepreneurs, and we can absolutely still do that. And it's going to take some learning, and it's going to be a little painful. And and nobody likes shifting systems, but damn, you did it so fast, and so did the world. I'm applauding. You know, the governments went from like not making decisions like once every few months to like making decisions every day.
I'm so impressed. So impressed.
Impressed. You worked in government. I worked in
I
government.
did.
Whoa.
Yes. I was gonna say we have we worked in government, worked in sustainability, very similar kind of like things, and then got into entrepreneurship. So you can see that that trajectory.
Yes, we can appreciate that. So I think like we are doing I think we're doing very well. I think I'd give us a very good grade, actually. You know, there's some countries that we can really, like, we're going to have to scope out again and be like, hey, who needs the support now? So, like, a forest, an ecosystem, a forest actually transfers nutrients from roots to roots through the soil when some parts of the forest need something. We just need to work as well as nature, biomimicry. It's just perfect. And we need to spread resources around and hear it. And just like,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I was just learning about, super tangent, but I was just learning about I think it's Amazon, where there's the river in the sky that brings back, look into it. It's like there's an actual like river in the sky, and it's like the water gets like brought up to this river in the sky, and then it's like this crazy little ecosystem, which is really cool. So check that out. If you nerd out on kind of like environment, nature stuff,
all
like
the time.
Both of us.
This is a knowledge which we do, which is why I'm like, I love super tangent as a hashtag.
Yeah.
Full of them. That's so good.
I know.
And also, I feel like in my story after I post this, I'll be like, and this is the Amazon River that flows in the sky.
Yes, please do.
And it's like things that you would never, ever come. This is how tacit knowledge is transferred. Okay, so what Pick My Brain is transferring is this tacit knowledge. How would I ever know that I could learn that from you? Never.
I don't know. I don't even know what I
learn it.
And that's the thing, I don't even know what I know, right?
Exactly. But how I'll uncover it, I'll never be able to like assess you and be like, she's got all this knowledge. Yeah. But I'll be able to get started and discover it by tumbling with you over the course of our lives, because we're going to be friends forever.
Yeah.
Knowledge you're going to be picking up and I'm going to be picking up, and we're just going to exchange it. Just like the forest spreads minerals. Yeah.
It's like the best analogy I've ever heard. Okay, very cool. So you do a lot to support others. So one of the questions we always ask is, how can we support you? So how can we, the audience here today, support you?
By supporting others.
You always say that.
It's true. But no, okay, I'll like go on to Pick My Brain and let me know how you want to help others, and I will help you help others.
Yes.
I just want to give you a portal and a platform that'll let you set it up really quick and give you access to start asking yourself these questions, and slowly but surely, like, it's a refinement process. Anyone that's built a Pick My Brain profile, just like us as humans, it'll never be set it and done. Like, I add new things to it all the time and play. So if you want to, I want you to help. You're going to help others. I'd love to help you do that. That's how you can help me.
I just discussed. Okay, I'm back. Okay. I heard that. Yes, exactly. And I would like to say, that would be a challenge that I would kind of put out to everyone, is like to get on there and just play. That's something that Paul and I we're Paul, my co-founder, who's in the audience here right now. So we are thinking about using our Pick My Brain profiles more as that opportunity to test things out and see what people are excited about and what they want to learn. And it's such a great way, like, especially right now, to rediscover your customers, to understand what it is that they're looking for. So I think that's very cool. I love it. I know we could talk about, and Nicola's super sweet. She's saying, so lovely having you chat beside me here at work today. Thanks for all the insights. Love the energy you bring. Thank you. And then Paul posted about the airborne river.
Nice.
Yes, fantastic.
The more you know.
Yeah, exactly. I say that all the time. I love it. So a last thing, which I don't think will probably be difficult, is I've been asking is, what is one thing that brings you joy right now?
Oh my goodness.
One thing. No, you can tangent it.
Seeing people effectively help others.
What is your mission in life, Maxine? Fantastic. And like, but this is the thing, is like, we're told, like, use this time right now to like figure out what your vision is, what your mission is, come back to your why, and then when you know what your vision is and your why is, then people will know if they want to work with you. They'll understand, having one mission, they'll understand who you are and the value that you bring, and it's easier to then package your services and package all the things. So we all know what you're all about, supporting others, but also empowering others to think about their knowledge in a different way. And I think that's a really important distinction about what you do, and have been educating people on that for years now, which is incredible and such a value add to this world. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
So thank you everyone for joining us, and say your goodbyes, because we are going to wrap up here soon. It's a quick kind of like 30-minute conversation, but I love having them. And check out, so this will be live if you didn't catch all of it. It's going to be on our IGTV. Instagram's done a fun new thing where they just directly put it on your IGTV now. So that's much better than it was a week ago. So everyone go check that out. And do you have any final thoughts?
Myself? Oh my gosh. I feel like we should run a workshop, Melanie, to help people think of their one mission. That was what was
yes.
I was coming to. I was just spinning an offer.
Of course you were. Yeah, I saw your like wheels thinking.
I'll loop back with that on you on that one.
Okay, cool. In the meantime, everyone go check out Maxine. Go to her Instagram. She's incredible. She's really accessible. Like if you go onto her stories and message her, at least for me, she always switches back with like voice notes. And that's something her and I both have in common. We love doing voice notes and video notes and having that personal touch. So please, yes, this makes me want to really start thinking about my one mission. I'm hearing fantastic. Really, really love it. It's very powerful. Cool.
We're going to have
one mission party. Yes.
One mission party. Thank you so much, Melanie. You're a rock star. I love
you too.
You.
Anytime. You are welcome back anytime.
Okay.
Awesome. Cool. Alrighty. It was really nice seeing you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone. Share your knowledge. Yes. Bye, everyone.
Bye.